Normally in the post games, as you all members know, we do some conversations about our private life, and Anna usually likes to talk about woodworking.
He thinks that's a dirty thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I never thought of it as a dirty thing until he started making it out to be a dirty thing.
Why would it be dirty? It's work in the wood.
But I am very good at woodworking.
Okay.
I'm just keeping it real with you guys.
I haven't said a word. I haven't said anything, okay?
Very talented woodworker.
Okay. So we have fun on the post games, but all you members know that. Anyway, but from time to time, there's a couple stories that we love that we want to bring you extra for you members. So if you happen to be watching this and you're not a member, tyt.com/join to become a member and get all of these extra things by becoming a member of TYT, Home of Progressives. So Anna, take it away with this first story.
Okay. All right, so this is an unfortunate story to follow that
I know. All right, we'll bring it back down.
Okay, let's bring it back down. All right. Brock Turner was a Stanford University student who was caught sexually assaulting a drunk, unconscious woman behind a dumpster. And he was caught by 2 graduate students who had to chase him after he got caught and then tried to escape. Now, he stood trial, and this story became a national headline because the judge who sentenced him only sentenced him to 6 months, and that 6 months was then later shortened to 3 months because he was let out on good behavior. Now, Brock Turner and his attorney decided to appeal the conviction. He was convicted, and the appeal was laughable. And luckily, the 3-judge panel involved in making the decision over whether or not to overturn this conviction made the right decision. So this 3-judge panel at San Jose's 6th District Court of Appeal ruled that there was substantial evidence that the former Stanford student received a fair trial. The decision means that Brock Turner will now be registered as a sex offender for life.
Yeah, look, when I first saw the story, I thought it was just so outrageous that they were even appealing. You only got 3 months in a county jail. Go back into hiding, man. What are you pressing your luck for? Why do you want to get back into the news? And then let alone his absurd defense, which we're going to get to in a second. Just go away, go back into the cave, right? But to be fair, I get at least their motivation behind it, because then he's a sex offender for life. Now, when you're attempting to rape someone, that's kind of the bucket you wind up in, right?
Yeah.
So, but of course he doesn't want to be in that category, and hence the appeal. Otherwise, trying to appeal your 3-month sentence would be adding terrible insult to terrible injury.
Exactly. Now, so when they appealed this conviction, what was the defense? What did the attorney for Brock Turner argue? Well, Turner's lawyer argued at a hearing appeal that Turner did not intend to rape his victim, as evidenced by the fact that he was fully clothed during the incident. He described Turner's actions as outercourse.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, come on. So I'm gonna give you a statement from one of the judges in just a minute, but I wanna skip ahead to graphic 75, just to tell you what he was convicted of. Now, there's an interesting, strange, I don't know. So we know what rape is. Rape is penetrating someone without consent. So he wasn't convicted of rape, but here are his convictions. Turner was found guilty of sexual penetration of an intoxicated person, sexual penetration of an unconscious person, and assault with intent to rape. Like, I don't know what the distinction is. Maybe there's something I'm missing. I'm not a legal expert. But with that said, penetrating someone while they're unconscious and without their consent is rape. So anyway.
Yeah, and that is what we colloquially call rape, obviously. And my guess is that there was other forms of penetration, but so since there was, and that was already adjudicated and settled, your new defense of well, it was just outercourse. We went through this. I know that's the whole point of an appeal, is to try to overturn it, but you have to come with new evidence or a decent argument. But saying, well, look, we were definitely sexually assaulting her, or my client was, and there was some sort of penetration, but he had his pants on.
Yeah, and he intended.
It's not a great defense, and it didn't work in trial, and there's no reason why it would work on appeal.
It was just, it's incredible because I don't know about his finances. It appears he comes from a well-to-do family.
Yeah.
And usually when you come from a well-to-do family, you get to take advantage of the two-tier justice system and you get to hire the best attorneys that will fight for you. I don't know why they hired this attorney because that is not a good defense.
But you never know. But with rich folks, sometimes anything works. Remember the Affluenza defense? That was a literal defense. The guy said he has a disease of being too rich, that he can't understand the consequences of his actions. That guy, his negligence while drunk driving led to the deaths of people.
Four people.
And he got off. 4 people are dead, and he got off on an affluenza defense. So these guys are like, I don't know, we're rich, we're white, we're going to Stanford, we're filled with privilege. Maybe if we do some absurd defense on Outercourse, that'll somehow work, right? Now, unlikely to work for a number of reasons here, but I think that the voters had already sent a pretty clear message because Aaron Persky, the original judge in the case, was removed from office in a recall campaign, which had not happened in California in 86 years. So coming with weak sauce appeal to judges who are on notice that people are watching this is not likely to work, and it didn't work. The judge was like, I don't even understand the case you're making. What are you saying?
I absolutely don't understand what you are talking about. This is what one of the judges said. Intent is rarely proved by direct evidence. You can't surgically remove things and look at them separately.
By the way, last 2 things here. The witnesses described him as violently thrusting but fully clothed. So it's very apparent what was going on. And thank God those 2 guys came when they did.
Yes.
Because he had his pants on for now, right, until they caught him. And Anna made a great point earlier when she referenced that he ran. So if you weren't doing anything wrong and she was conscious and everything was consensual, why'd you run? If you were in the middle of making out with somebody and 2 guys came by and tried to break it up, you'd be like, what are you guys doing? And she would say, what are you guys doing, right? Instead, immediately you bolted, and by the way, lied to the police later, thereby giving a sense that it was not consensual outer course, as your lawyer is trying to spin it now.
Exactly.
Okay. So luckily it didn't work. So he still already served a tiny, tiny sentence, but he will now be on that sex offender list.
Yeah.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber, and second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.